Amazing. So thank you for joining this session. So in this session, we'll be learning about Brisbane and Queensland, and we're going to be able to tell you some insights in what it is like to study here and how international students can get support and what you can expect from the Torrens campus in Brisbane. I'm really wanting to try and make this presentation as fun and as relatable as possible, so everyone who sees this presentation and webinar gets the best knowledge about Brisbane and Queensland, and you can know what it has to offer you as a student here. We're really lucky to be joined by a current student. We got Jonas here, and towards the end of the webinar, you'll be able to hear more about Jonas and the Brisbane Student Representative Council. So he's part of the SRC here in Brisbane for Torrens, and he works to make Torrens and the university a better place for all students. And at the end of this webinar, there will be time where you can ask questions. So anyone who does have questions shouldn't leave this webinar without the opportunity to speak with myself as the campus life coordinator here for the Brisbane campus, and Jonas as the SRC member as well. So please do ask any questions at the end, or there's a Q&A option in the chat as well. So please, we want to answer your questions so you know about Brisbane and you know about Queensland. So please share those questions with us and we'll answer them for you. So to start off, just want to do a acknowledgement of country. So I'm hosting this webinar from Brisbane, which is the traditional lands of the Turrbal and Yagara people, and I wish to acknowledge them as traditional owners of the lands and waterways here where Brisbane is currently located, and want to share my respects to any elders past, present and emerging, and elders from other communities who are attending the webinar this evening. So jumping straight into the content that we're covering today, we're going to start off with an introduction about Brisbane and an introduction about Queensland, because we really want you to have a good understanding about what Brisbane and Queensland has to offer, and this will kind of give you the foundations of what you can expect whilst you study here in Brisbane, in the state of Queensland. So what makes Brisbane beautiful? So Brisbane is a city where you get the best of both worlds. So you get a really exciting and fun urban environment, but you also have a lot of natural beauty. Brisbane City has all the museums, restaurants, you've got pubs and clubs and hotels and public transport that you can ask for from a world-class city. But on the flip side of that, it also is warm enough with the weather throughout the year where it's never too cold to go for a walk along the Brisbane River, and you can go for a bike ride in the beautiful national parks that we have right near Brisbane, or you can go for a swim in South Bank as well. So there are a lot of things that make Brisbane beautiful and a really good place to come and study. And we have a short little video here that I'll start playing in a moment, and have a look at some of the amazing things that make Brisbane the beautiful city that it is. Whoops, sorry, not sure what happened. Yep. Amazing. So that's the first video as part of this presentation. I've included some videos in this webinar because I really think pictures tell 1,000 words, and a video can really help you to see and visualize the best of Brisbane and the best of Queensland, because it really is a place that has something to offer for everyone, and it's a great place for our students. So what makes or why is Queensland called the Sunshine State? It's known as the Sunshine State in Australia because more often than not, it's really sunny compared to other places around Australia where it might be a bit colder, might get a lot less sun. Queensland is the place where the sun is always shining. So I grew up in Sydney, and when I was growing up and in my adult life, I always heard that everything is bigger and better in Queensland. And having lived here for a few years now, I 100% agree that everything is bigger and better in Queensland. So, for example, Victoria and New South Wales have similar things to Queensland, like they have beaches, they have a really fun city, but they just really can't compare to the scale of things here in Queensland. And what makes Queensland really special is the people. So Queenslanders, as part of the Sunshine State, they're really known to be funny, they're laid back, and they don't really take things too seriously. And the best thing about Queenslanders is they have a can-do attitude. So they're always willing to help out other Queenslanders. They're willing to help out other people who are visiting Queensland for the first time. So that's really special about Queensland. And it's part of the reason why Brisbane has been chosen to host the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games. So that's really exciting for Brisbane as a city and Queensland as a whole, because it's going to mean that Brisbane and the surrounding areas are going to explode with amazing things. And as students, you'll be able to experience the preparation for the games, and even things at the moment. They're building a brand new metro system, and they're doing renovations to the stadiums around the city. And it's really exciting to see what they're doing here in Brisbane, but also in the surrounding areas. And over the next few slides, I'm going to hand over to Jonas. He's going to show you some videos of places that are really nearby Brisbane and other places in Queensland that you can access easily from Brisbane, because Queensland has some of Australia's most iconic beaches. They've got tropical rainforests here in Queensland, and you've got the rugged outback as well, and all of that is easily accessed from Brisbane. And whilst you are studying at Torrens in Brisbane, you can access the outback, you can go to tropical rainforest, or you can swim at the most beautiful beaches in the world. So we'll go to the next slide, and I'll hand over to Jonas, who will say a few things because he's been to some of these places himself as a student. So we'll watch the video first, and then I'll hand over to Jonas, who can speak about the locations and his experiences if he has been there.
Surely. Nice, amazing, definitely an amazing introduction from Charles. And I would like to contribute to your sentence that image can talk for 1,000 words, and memories can talk for 1,000 lives. And that's what Queensland is about. That's what the lifestyle of Queensland is about. So Queensland has a very deep outdoor lifestyle. So you're gonna feel that, when you talk with people, every single time they're gonna try to take you out, to take you for hiking, to take to the beach, to take you for camping, and this is really a culture that people have here. And much more than only Queensland, the Australians who live here. So Brisbane has more than 160 nations. So people from 160 different nations living currently here in Queensland. So I think that these produce a very extremely helpful feeling of empathy, in between the people, and a very helpful, friendly environment for international students to really reach their goals and reach a very good work study life balance that uh, that is the best that I think that Queensland can offer to people. So so let's start with Gold Coast, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I've already been many times at Gold Coast, and all this video is 100% true. And much more than that, what I can add is the people. So people from Gold Coast, people who live there, are really, really, really connected with everyone around them. So it's a very, very friendly environment. You can go for an afternoon, and and now you realize that you've made 10 new friends, and you're staying for the whole weekend or for the next week. You know what I mean? So this is kind of friendship and environment that you can find at Gold Coast and many other places, not only Gold Coast, to be honest. And and as you can see, every single situation that you see someone there, that person is with someone else. So this is all about, like, it is about the amazing, the astonishing landscapes that Queensland, Brisbane, Gold Coast, many other places can offer to you. And it is also about these memories that you can make with people who you like, people who you love, people who you've just met. So this is what Queensland's about, with Brisbane, Gold Coast, and many other places. So let's go to the next. Oh my God, what a picture. I definitely wouldn't recommend feeding a kangaroo, because it's gonna turn into your best friend. Actually, it's straight away. Once you feed it, it's gonna turn into your best friend. Definitely, it's gonna stay next to you, gonna follow you. So I mean, it's definitely up to you. But talking about Sunshine Coast, I can tell you guys a story. It's just good and bad at the same time. because I was swimming at the beach. It was not exactly Sunshine Coast. It was like a beach next to it, actually. But like in that area, Sunshine Coast is a very large coast area, to be honest. But it was the first time that I realized that something was swimming with me, but it was not a person. so so also that video about dolphins is actually true, but not only dolphins, right? So keep that in mind. But definitely Sunshine Coast is also an extremely good place. Gold Coast has like the theme parks, the Dream War, the beautiful beaches, hiking, everything. And Sunshine Coast has it as well. So many waterways that you can go to, hikings of course, and also as well like some wineries and breweries that you can visit. So if you like drinking, I mean, it can be social drink as well. But if you like drinking, it's definitely a must go place. And also very, I could say, a place that is very connected with nature more than pretty much everywhere else that I've been. I mean, I could mention as well Fraser Island or Kagari. That you can Google that out. It's a very same vibe place, and it's definitely also about the people that you go with and the memories that you make in these places. So let's go jump next one.
Yeah, I'll just quickly add something
Oh,
about the Sunshine Coast, and hopefully everyone can hear me okay with the audio here. But I've been to the Sunshine Coast a lot of times, and I've seen whales, I've seen dolphins, I've seen sea turtles. So the nature on the Sunshine Coast is absolutely stunning and beautiful, similar to the Gold Coast as well, with the hinterland and mountains that you saw in the videos here. These are two locations less than 2 hours away from Brisbane, and they're absolutely amazing. And then the next slide and the next video is a place which most of the people in the world would have heard of, and it's easily accessed through Brisbane. So we'll go to the next slide here.
amazing, amazing. Well, what can I add to the video? The video speaks by itself pretty much. But so this Barrier Reef is definitely not only a specific place about Queensland. It's definitely a special attraction that Australia has by itself. It's the largest coral reef from the world, and everything I can say about it is just a must-go place. You got at least once, and and many times you can go. Just go. You don't need to think about it. There's always something new, something that you haven't done yet, a place that you haven't been. So this is the Great Barrier Reef. Definitely another magnificent place that you can be. And I something that really catches my attention, something that I really enjoyed was for example the CMC. There's the country a country music festival that is near here to Brisbane, and people are just amazing. If going to the outback is really experience the true how can we say, Charles, the true Queenslander experience.
Yeah,
So
the outback is very unique to Australia, and there's nothing quite like when you drive out of Brisbane and you keep on driving, and then it
exactly.
starts to get less green, and then you see the red dirt of the outback. And I've been many a times, and every time I go, there's something different that catches my eye. And the emus, the kangaroos, the wildlife, and the people out there, they mightn't have ever gone to a traffic light, or they might have never seen a roundabout before, just because the life in the outback is so different to what you might experience in Brisbane.
Yeah,
But it's truly unique and truly special, and something that you can explore from Brisbane and see beautiful parts of Queensland.
definitely. It's a mix of landscapes and a mix of different experience and different people that you can find. So actually, so next to each other. You can drive 2 hours into the outback. You can find such like different cultures from what you find here at Brisbane City. So it is definitely extremely amazing. Besides all the historical and cultural places that you can be. So indigenous places, and also you can visit the European settles from centuries, decades ago. So that's definitely a very very extremely good place to be as well. Thanks.
Amazing. So I think, those videos and what Jonas was able to describe is the best part of Queensland and the best part of Brisbane. And now we're going to look at what Brisbane has to offer and what Queensland has to offer for you whilst you study here. So, what makes Queensland a great place for students? What makes Brisbane? Sorry, Brisbane gives students a very similar experience to what you might have in Sydney or Melbourne, but it's a lot less hassle, and there's a lot less more worry that you might experience here as a student. So students in Brisbane, you get a discount on many things, and you have access to employment opportunities that are offered in Sydney and Melbourne. So you still have the same access to those employment opportunities, and you get those student discounts the same as the big cities, but it's less stressful, and there's less worry and hassle for you as you complete your studies here as well. And in the build up to the Olympic and Paralympic Games in just under 10 years' time as well, Brisbane and Queensland, they're going to continue to make really big advancements in tourism, in business, in technology. And as a student living in Brisbane, living in Queensland, you're going to get access to the benefits of the build up to the Olympics as well. So that is really exciting, and that's what Brisbane offers its students as well, whilst you are studying here, which is amazing. So we're just going to look at a couple of videos here, and Jonas might be able to give some insights from his personal experience as a student at Torrens in Brisbane.
Sure. Can I just add to your introduction, Charles?
Definitely.
So another extremely amazing thing that I can mention about Brisbane, and it is something that really thought it was very interesting, because I was definitely not expecting it from such a small city from such a big city like Brisbane. That is like the very welcoming spirit that people have here. Not only and when I mean like welcoming, if you are open with them, they really want to talk with you to hear your story, and they are really willing to help you on what you need. So that's something that I thought it was amazing that I experienced here. That when you're talking about Australians, and also talking about like other people from overseas, they know how you feel. You know what I mean? Like we know how we feel. I'm from Brazil, living in Australia, studying, and when you talk with other people who also came to here to try a new life, try a new experience, to get a knowledge, study, whatever it is, like, if you talk with them, if you are open with them, you're gonna see they have a lot of empathy, and they have a lot of to share with you. So it's a community that really helps each other. Definitely, that's definitely, and for me is like definitely the best point about Brisbane. Of course, haven't lived in New South Wales, haven't lived in Melbourne, but it's something that I can tell you 100% sure that you're gonna find here in Brisbane. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I think that's what I was meaning about living in Brisbane being less hassle, because you can find your friends, you can find a community, because it's a very welcoming small town vibe, but it has the big city things the same as Sydney and Melbourne. And the next couple of slides with the videos, it shows you some details about that. And Jonas, if you have any points over the next couple of slides, then please, it's wonderful hearing your experience, and keep on sharing that as well.
Amazing.
Start your global journey in Queensland, Australia. A place that nurtures your talent, builds innovation, and launches global careers. With more than 200 quality education and training providers across 11 destinations, Queensland has a study experience that will support your success. From the reef to the rainforest, the ocean to the cities. And beyond the valleys to the west, Queensland has its own unique spirit. Every corner of Queensland offers opportunity to bring your ambitions to life. Innovation is at the heart of what we do. We focus on emerging technology and groundbreaking ways of learning. And this is attracting some of the world's most visionary thinkers. Queensland fosters a thriving business community, embracing change as career paths evolve, delivering real-life education, connecting students with industry, supporting innovators and entrepreneurs. Our reputation as one of the world's most welcoming study destinations is a testament to Queensland, hosting more than 160 different nationalities, embracing new experiences and life-changing opportunities. Studying in Queensland empowers you to take on the world. Start here and go anywhere.
Was there anything that you wanted to add to that video, Jonas, or are you happy to go to the next one?
Well, what I can add, of course, besides the high quality education that you can find here, as you can find at Torrens University, you gotta understand as well that Brisbane is also a place where the money is. You know, talking a little bit more professionally. You guys know what I mean? So it's definitely a place where you can build your career. And what I feel is that Queensland is like that as well. So they like to help you and to help you to grow into to the next steps and to reach your next objectives. So this is definitely a place that is going to help you, even considering that, like as Charles mentioned before, we have big, medium and small companies, and all of them are thriving here at Brisbane, at Queensland in at a whole. So yeah, just amazing.
Amazing. So thank you for sharing that. And the next slide has a video from an international student who has spent time studying in Queensland. So it's a great opportunity to hear from this student and their experience. And whilst you're watching this video, think about how you might see yourself in Queensland, in Brisbane, studying. And it's a great way to visualize what it might be like studying at Torrens in Brisbane. So I'll play the video now, and then we've got a few more slides to go after this, and happy to hear any questions you have as well, and we can answer those at the end.
I think Queensland is a wonderful place to study and live. Hi, I'm Ankita Ranjitkar, and I'm originally from the eastern part of Nepal. For my higher studies, I went to Torrens University, which is situated in the capital city of the country. For my master's degree, I wanted to do something which is a mix of business and technology. So I did some research, but I could not find any specific course back home. I found some really amazing courses like business analytics and enterprise systems in Australia. That's the reason I am here. I didn't know much about Australia before, but my sister, she lives and she studies in Sydney. So I got to learn a lot about her experiences. But when I landed to Australia, especially Queensland, I felt like it was a wonderful place to live and study. Queensland has a number of professional engagement activities and events that you can indulge yourself in. So it definitely gives an edge to whatever dream you want to pursue in terms of technology or any IT sector. Brisbane, it's a social city, but I haven't gotten any chance to see much of the places. I am a hustler and I'm always attending events and seminars, webinars, always dedicated towards my project. All the opportunities I've gotten is from Federation University because they have a connection with institutions like RCL and River City Labs and ARC Hardware Incubator, and they support the startup companies and students like us to pitch our ideas. Queensland has a lot of job opportunities and it's a perfect destination for international students. Studying in Queensland was definitely the best decision I've taken.
Amazing. So that's a good insight into what it is like to be an international student in Brisbane, studying in Queensland. Was there anything that you wanted to add to that, Jonas, or are you happy to go through to the next slides where we talk about our Brisbane campus and what you can expect?
Oh, again, in the topic of a community who likes to help each other, a tip that I can that I always give to anyone else who reaches me talking about employability and career growth is looking for communities and looking for associations. So Brisbane has a lot of it. So a lot of associations who with that help you on achieving your goals in a specific industry type. So that's something that I really would recommend you to look for.
Yeah, that's a really great recommendation and something that the university here at Torrens really supports our students to pursue those opportunities, and we want every student who attends classes here at Torrens to really succeed. So that's a great point there. That kind of leads us on to our Brisbane campus location and the facilities that we have here in Brisbane that will help you achieve whilst you are studying. So I'm biased, but I think that the campus location here in Brisbane is the best at Torrens compared to our campuses in Sydney and Melbourne and Adelaide, where in Brisbane we are located right next to the river and right next to the main bridge in the city. So to get to our campus here in Brisbane, we're in the middle of the city, right in the heart of the CBD, where it's easy access by train. You can catch a bus to the campus or you can catch a ferry to the campus as well. So public transport accessibility to the Brisbane campus is really great. And the central location of the campus in Brisbane means that it's easy to get to a cafe, it's easy to get to a shopping mall, or there are music venues nearby, or if you wanted to go to a bar or a club, all of those things are within walking distance. And it's funny watching the videos at the beginning of this presentation and seeing things around Brisbane. So many of them are walking distance from the campus here. So you'll never be bored of looking for things to do because there are so many things around the Brisbane campus that you will be able to do. In terms of the location, you can't really get anything better than where we are located, right on the river, right near the CBD and close to public transport as well. And the actual campus itself that we have here in Brisbane is a really modern campus. So it's a 3-story building. And inside the campus, we've got a cafe. So if you don't feel like walking down the street to get a coffee or to get some breakfast, you can have some breakfast here at the cafe that we have on campus. We have a library for our students as well. We have a computer lab that our students can use, and we have a kitchen area as well. So if you wanted to bring your own food and you wanted to use the kitchen here on campus, you can. And if you wanted to speak with a librarian about questions you have about a assessment, about how you can better your studies, we have that service, and you can access that service on campus as an international student. And at the moment, we're finishing off some renovations on our Brisbane campus, and it's really exciting because the renovations, once they are complete, the campus is going to be even more accessible for our students and give our students a better studying experience as well. So the campus location and what you can expect is really modern. It's really great for our students, and there's a really good student community here, and Jonas will speak to you more about that in a moment, but that's what you can expect from the Brisbane campus here. So looking at the activities and events that we have here in Brisbane, we've got a lot of things that happen on campus. As a university, Torrens understands that studying is more than just attending classes, more than just doing readings and submitting assessments. We really make our campus a place where students can learn outside of the classroom, and the campus is a really fun environment. And my role as the campus life coordinator in Brisbane, I really want to make Brisbane a place where students want to spend time. They want to come onto campus to have coffee at the cafe before they go to their class, because they're going to meet their friend at the cafe on campus. And we want campus to be a place where you as a student get the best possible experience, and outside of your classes, you're having fun, you're engaging, you're creating a community here in Brisbane. And we're achieving that now, and the more students that we get coming to the campus from all over the world, the better and stronger the campus is going to be. Did you have anything that you wanted to add to that, Jonas?
I can just agree.
Yeah,
I can just agree.
So this is a really important part of this webinar, is looking at the support options that are available for international students. And at Torrens, all our students, domestic and international, have access to 24/7 support. So as an international student at Torrens, you have a dedicated web page. So I've taken a screenshot of the web page and added it to this slide. And you can see that there is a place where you can book an appointment on here, and you can speak with a support team. And this is accessible to our students online 24/7. And you can book an appointment for within business hours. And there are other support, which is the counselling and wellbeing, which is after hours. And we really pride ourselves here at Torrens making sure that our students are supported, because we want to make sure that you can achieve, and the best way that you can achieve at university is making sure that you are supported. So if you have any questions, there are staff who are available to support you, and that's really important, either in person or online. And we want to make your transition to the Australian education landscape as smooth as possible. We want you to feel safe, we want you to have fun, we want you to have the best experience that you can whilst you are studying here at Torrens. And these are two examples of websites from the university that you can access and get that support as an international student whilst you are studying in Brisbane. So this is where I'm going to hand over to Jonas, and just keeping an eye on the time here, and we'll be able to answer your questions after Jonas speaks to you about the Brisbane Student Representative Council, because he's part of this SRC, and he is dedicated to making your time at Torrens studying in Brisbane the best it can possibly be.
Amazing. Amazing. So just adding to the last slide, guys. If you have any problem on a Sunday at 11:50 and just please call Charles. He'll help you definitely. But jokes apart, yeah, helping the students and supporting the students and their needs is it's definitely a priority. And by experience, I can let you guys know that they are very, very quick and very assertive on help you. And going to the SRC topic that I was really looking forward to talk about. So what is the purpose of the SRC, and what we are aiming to achieve with all the students? So what we are aiming to achieve is being the connection and being the next part or the next step of the needs of the students. So we talking as a student, like we know what we need, but sometimes as being a student, as having to work, as being an international student, being in another country, we all know that sometimes we don't have that much time, to really plan or go look for something very specific, or to reach someone who is really an expert on something that could help us, for example. So that's the purpose of the SRC. We want to be the third party company that that third party help that work with students in order to achieve what we need. Guys. So we have a lot of ways of doing it. So we are working on cultural events. We are working to achieve sports events, so sports activities. Well, we are working to improve the student experience inside the campus through many ways, and you can always be very free and very, very welcome to talk with us. And of course, career growth, employability, and many, many, many other ways. I think knowing um, all the objectives that we have from the people from the SRC, and knowing everything that we would like to help you guys, I think we could easily have a webinar just to talk about SRC and how we want to help you. So that's what we are aiming for. That's what we are aiming to achieve. We want to be that extra help that brings what you need directly to you. So that's the purpose of the SRC. So right now we are currently in line to do our culture event to really showcase and to really showcase to everyone all these culture and all these different cultures that we have inside Torrens University, that all these culture that all the students bring to Torrens University that sometimes we don't have time to show, you know. So we all come from different parts of the world, and we all have a different and unique stories and unique experience that we can share with each other. So that's the purpose of this event. And also as I mentioned before, we are currently working to promote some career growth events. So events dedicated to employability. And I think we're very, I think we are on an extremely good way. And we are really committed on achieving what we're planning. So we're not looking forward to just gather all your suggestions, all your feedback, and just run away with them. So we could have everyone here from the SRC. They would agree with me, and I as I am speaking for them, I can let you guys know that we are committed on what we're doing, and it's like right now it's life or death. No, just kidding. But we are really committed on what we're doing. We are doing it serious. We are doing a very serious way, going through deadlines, working with Charles. Charles is being a very, very helpful and being a connection of the SRC with university and taking us through the way, talking in, like Star Wars movie. But yes, if you have any questions, anything that you would like to suggest to the SRC, anything that you would like to see at Torrens University, just let us know. We are here for you. I'm here for us. So that's it.
Yeah, it's really amazing and great to hear how passionate you are about the SRC, because you're a student yourself and you're wanting to make the university experience better for students. And you're listening to the ideas that they have and you're following through and making those ideas a reality. So that's something that you can, as a student at Torrens in Brisbane, you know that there's a passionate SRC team who is going to make your university experience better for you. So that's something that you can be assured of. And it's really great that we have that option here at Torrens, because it's not offered at all other universities. That amount of passion and dedication from students to help other students as part of a representative council is something that we really value here at Torrens. So that brings us to the end of what we wanted to share as part of this session today. But we wanted to open it up to answer any questions that you have. You can type your answers in to the Q&A chat box